And welcome back to part 7 of the What If Naruto was adopted by the third Hokage, or What If Third Hokage Adopted Naruto series. Last time on the What If Naruto series, the Team 7 had had their run-in with Orochimaru. Unfortunately, it did end with Sasuke still getting the curse mark. They put up a good fight, and Naruto even threw out a couple surprises here or there. Unfortunately, it was not enough, and Sasuke's been taken bitten by the curse mark. So we cut now to the aftermath of that fight. Now, Naruto's pretty worn out, but he's still able to, keep, to rest up, take a soldier pill to put a little bit of chakra back in his system. And, take turns keeping watch, just like Sakura was doing. He's able, thanks to clones, a couple more traps, along with Sakura's help. But all the while, Sasuke is, he's struggling. He's dealing. Obviously, he got Monty Python. I got better. Well, she put a curse mark on me that cursed me soul. Curse mark? I got better. But anyway, eventually dawn comes or day comes, and morning comes, and they see the sound Neji show up. And, he said, bring us Sasuke. We want him now. There's no way you're getting Sasuke. It's like, that's right. It's like, very well. Fine. If you want to bring him to us, we'll come to him. And obviously, they set the traps off. Naruto, I'd imagine, set up like a whole mess of shurikens. Actually, what I could see Naruto's doing is making like a dozen clones on each side, each with shurikens, and they're like fistful of shurikens in their hand, but transformed into like birds or squirrels or something like that, and then just like, what the hell? It's like, and I can't remember what exactly the name of Zaku's attack was, but so wind blaze, and it's like, oh, that was close, kid. You almost had us there. And then Naruto brings out his trench knives, like. It's like, you're not getting to where Sasuke makes like a couple clones, I'd say like 6, like 2 for each of them. It's like, Sakura, keep Sasuke safe. I got this. It's like, no, we're teammates, Naruto. And Naruto, I'm not gonna let you go on your own. It was Sasuke, and Naruto's like, all right, fine. He leaves a clone instead with Sasuke, and they go to take on the sound. So Naruto and Zaku, I think, would have a good clash. Like, he's throwing out the vacuum wave. That's what they're called, vacuum waves. The vacuum waves. Naruto's cutting through the vacuum waves. Because let's be honest, despite the name, they're not. I mean, despite that fact that they're the sound village, it was a wind-based technique. Let's not mince words. It wasn't compressed sound per se in a physical form. I mean, even if it was a blade of wind. But Naruto uses his own blades of wind to be like, so, and comes in. Honestly, Naruto's wind blades being smaller but more concentrated in a sharper point would actually be very detrimental to that attack, because the larger an object is, the less condensed its energy. I'm simplifying the physics behind it, but it is like the law of physics. Mass, weight, energy, and all that. The more mass you have, but more surface area there is, the less concentrated the mass is. Again, that's why chakra control is such an important thing in Naruto, where even if you make a huge, giant, chakra sword that's 100 feet long and 10 feet wide, if there's no real concentration in chakra control behind it, someone can just easily just boom, snap it like that, because it's, despite all the chakra power in there, it has no theoretical defensive capabilities to it. So someone could easily just snap the damn thing. Whereas if you get chakra control plus the large amount of it in there, then you're now dealing with a much more compact and dangerous weapon of the said size. Similar premise here. Despite the fact that Naruto's blades are much smaller, they're far more condensed and therefore far sharper than Zaku's chakra blades, which probably do have more natural force behind them. But Naruto's able to basically just clash and slice through them and basically dissipate the attacks within a relative measure of safety. Yes, he's still getting hit with the offset of it, because it basically dissipates the attack. It's able to kind of just cut in twain, as that character in Robin the Man in Tights could. He cut Zaku's attack in twain. So Naruto and Zaku are basically, and Naruto and one of his clones are going to town on Zaku, whereas another or a couple Naruto clones are trying to take on Dosu, who are he's quickly dropping the Naruto clones because like, my ears. It's like, what is this? It's like, you see, with my attack. And basically, it's like, he kind of, explains it. You see, word from the sound, and therefore we use sound. And but this little device does let me channel sound into your vital airway or vital air spots, such as your eardrums. Enough of it could cause them to even burst, and then the clones pop. Which, because Naruto has used the clones for training purposes, he's aware of what the clones can do. He knows that they were initially designed for gathering. I'm just in the picture, gathering information. So he quickly gets that information. He's like, okay, I'm gonna have to avoid that. Meanwhile, Sakura actually drops Keen pretty quick with a Genjutsu. It's like, Keen, Zaku, get Keen. I've got Sasuke. It's like, no, you don't. And what he sees basically is, just boop. He sees Zaku just clangs his device against Naruto's trench knife. And it cuts into the device, and Zaku actually has to get the device off his arm, otherwise it's going to cut right into his arm. But remember, he has two on. And I'm pretty certain he had two, most likely. At minimum, he had a spare. But he's like, I'll still be able to. It's like, and he realizes, like, what? And he sees that another clone is like piggybacking on Naruto and says, like, not going to work this time. Big Gale Palm. Poof. He it just goes flying back. Now it's Zaku, who's got kids like Dosu. Those brats. You really think this is over? And all of a sudden, they feel the chakra, and Naruto's like, what? And it's like Sasuke's like, what's going on out here? Naruto, Sakura, these guys giving you problems? And just looking at them, is like, well, are you? And he says, he immediately comes in and beats the living hell out of Zaku. I think, though, Naruto gets in the way before he can break both of Zaku's arms. I think he breaks one of the arms, but I don't think he breaks both. And Naruto basically has to knock some sense into Sasuke. Who's like, what are you doing, Naruto? Well, I'm just taking care of it. That was enough. You're going too far, Sasuke. There's no need to beat on an injured opponent who can't fight back. Is that right, mate? You can't fight. You can fight back, Naruto. Maybe we should have it out. Finally, see who's stronger. It's and then Doshin's looking at us like, this is not good. I think Orochimaru will go this far. It's like, we surrender, and he gives up the scroll. Now, if I do remember correctly, they did actually have the opposing scroll to Naruto and Sakura and Sasuke. So this actually allows them to just go to the tower. After of course, this whole incident going, it's like, Sasuke, stop it! And he's like, come on, fight me! And Naruto's really having trouble. In the academy, they were pretty much neck and neck. Sasuke edged him out in sheer technique, but Naruto's spontaneous style basically mean they had kind of like an even ratio of win to losses. Here, the speed and physicality is all just up that Naruto isn't immediately ready for. So he's actually getting his ass kicked. Naruto's like, stop, Sasuke, I don't want to fight you. You better. And then Naruto just improvises like, wind style. Is it wind style? Wind blade. No, he's putting the blade in the ground. All of a sudden, he's using wind blade, but he's like, it's like, I'm just making up a name right here. Wind style rushing earth. And Sasuke's like, what? How could a wind style user? And all of a sudden, Naruto just like carves through the ground, and just massive amounts of earth and rock, like just being propelled by wind. Sasuke just suddenly gets hit by a huge mess of stones. And Naruto finally comes and says, that's enough. Stop it, Sasuke. We're not your enemy. We're your friends. And I think Sakura does come and, still give him the hug from behind. Not in that romantic way, but because your friend and all that. And says, stop, please. And Sasuke finally mellows down. It's like, what happened to me? And Naruto's like, Orochimaru happened to you. can't say for certain, but he did something. He put a mark on your neck, and he goes over it a little bit. We'll get the old man to have a look at it when we get to the tower, which we should probably be heading there now. Thanks to the Soundage giving us this. And they look, it's like, yep, we got both scrolls. So they beeline it out for the tower just straight. And they get there. Iruka's there. It's like, hey guys, and ultimately they end up going. Naruto goes to find his, the third. Like, hey Gramps, we got a problem. Like, oh no, yes, Naruto, what happened? The Amu was made mention of something going on in the forest. And Naruto says, like, it's him. He's back, Gigi. And this causes Saratobi, reason to pause and be like, I see. How bad? Well, we're all okay, but he did something to Sasuke, and sure enough, he sees the curse mark. He's like, I see. This isn't good. Fortunately, there are still 3 days before the exam. 3 days before the exam. I'll call someone in to deal with this promptly. And, Kakashi comes in, puts the curse mark on, because it still took Jiraiya a little while to get in the village. We can assume when Naruto met him, he probably hadn't been there for more than a day. So Naruto, so Kakashi comes to put the seal on Sasuke. It takes him a few days to recover, we can imagine. But meanwhile, at that time, Sakura, Naruto, Hinata, everyone's there. They're spending time with each other. All that, just taking the time to relax. And then comes the actual, Chunin exams. They explain everything. Kabuto drops out. Sasuke and I never remember the name of the other guy. Face off. Sasuke is now not hindered by the curse mark thanks to the seal. And they explain how the seal worked. And Orochimaru's like, they sealed my curse mark. So treacherous, but it won't matter. The seeds are sown, and Sasuke will come to me. Just like you will, and soon you will too, Naruto. And, so Sasuke ultimately does beat that guy much more soundly than he did originally. Now, seeing as we're getting close now to Hinata and Neji's fight, should know, someone brought up the fact that Hinata should not have been able to see Kakuro's chakra threads because of how small they were. And in the anime, she had to really train and focus because she wanted to, do well to, impress and make Naruto proud. But here's the thing. In this version, she already knows Naruto, is already friends with him. So she's already training more effectively, harder to, get stronger. So I would say it's possible she could have seen the chakra threads. That's my excuse anyway. Or my logic. My excuse, logic, same thing. But now, in the order that came up, we have the Ino versus Sakura fight. This fight really isn't there really isn't as much tension in this fight as there was in the original because these two have gone on separate paths. Sakura is more interested in Naruto, whereas Ino is still more interested in Sasuke. I think Ino still is a little bitter that she got that Sakura got put on Sasuke's team. I think that is a thing. But it's less about, it's like, I hate you. It's like, why? We used to be friends. Why aren't we friends anymore? No, it's more than testing their skills against each other. And ultimately, as the fight goes on, Sakura is using, cherry blossom technique or jutsu. It's like, what was it? It's genjutsu. Yeah, she goes, Kai! And then all of a sudden gets clocked by Sakura. Just boom! Because Sakura has a serious right hook. It just kind of, okay, for it, that's it. And you want to take this seriously? And she puts the headband on. Sakura puts the headband on. Finally, and ultimately, she actually cuts her hair. It's like, what? It's like, I got you now. Mind transfer jutsu. She thinks she hits Sakura, but Sakura starts to melt away a little bit. And remember, it's a technique similar to the tree binding technique that I made up, basically. It's kind of like the lesser version of it, where instead of creating a tree, theoretically binding your opponent in place so they can't move and then coming in and stabbing them, it's more that you just kind of melt into the ground and then pop up behind them. That's basically what it is. They're not binded or anything like that. So it's like, wait, what? Another one? And she tries to dispel the Genjutsu, but because it's a higher rank Genjutsu than Cherry Blossom Blizzard, she can't dispel as easily, so she has to put all her chakra in there, and it's like, can I? And then Sakura finally is just standing there, just. So, and I mean, Genjutsu don't require probably anywhere near as much chakra in the comparatively to ninjutsu, because it's a lot more about chakra control than it is with ninjutsu, and it's about manipulating the mind. So chakra control is essential, but I would imagine that as long most Genjutsu, except for like the really high rank ones, don't need as much chakra naturally as ninjutsu do. I'm guessing. I'm probably dead wrong. I don't know of anything that states that one way or the other. If someone does know something, have a legitimate source, then sure. And I say that, and I'm going to probably get 2 or 3 people who are going to say completely contradictory things. It's like, actually, they need to do this. Well, actually, they need to do this. I had someone recently comment saying, "Oh, no, yeah, this character, the Predator, would lose to the Creeper because normal people and aliens have killed the Predator, but no one's ever killed the Creeper." That's the dumbest argument ever. Because that implies the Creeper will literally beat Superman because he's never died, technically. Actually, Superman has died, but you know what I mean. No, because because he has died. Because Superman's died before, that's implying the Creeper would beat Superman. It's like, that's the dumbest argument ever. And I digress. So yeah, if you're gonna give me cite a source, make sure you actually cite a source. Don't just give me your opinion or anything like that. I mean, give me your opinion is fine, but don't cite your opinion as fact without citing a source or something like that. It's just one of those things. And I mean, I do that too, but I've usually have to. I'm citing the series for a lot of the stuff I say. Not everything, but most of it. Anyway, I digress. So yeah, Sakura actually ends up eking out the win because Ino ends up tiring herself out just to keep up with Sakura, who, even though she's kind of worn out a little bit, still is a lot more physically in check or able. So she ends up clocking Ino and taking the win, the big W. So then you get into Naruto versus Kiba, and I think Kiba's attitude towards Naruto. And everyone there is aware of Naruto's relation. So in the third's even moving up in his seat a little bit, just like, let's see how far you've come, Naruto. And Naruto does remember, it's like, I could probably use that technique against Kiba if I want to. I do think Kiba probably holds some resentment because he's probably like, oh, you think you're such a hot guy? You think you're hot stuff because you're the third's grandson, huh? It's like, well, I mean, not exactly. I mean, he's helped raise me, but I mean, I got here on my own. I got help, but yeah. I mean, you can't say you got help from your clan too? And Kiba's like, whatever, I'm going to finally show you who's top dog around here. It's like, all right, show me. It's fang over fang. And, Kiba comes in. Naruto's not stupid, though. He's already made a couple clones just as the bell rang, or just the, begin. And the clones pop up. He immediately hits a clone, hits a clone, and Naruto gale palms him straight to the wall. Kiba smacks against the wall on all fours, like, just swings at him. Naruto immediately is like, that great breakthrough. Poof. Akamaru! It's like, get off me! It's like, got you now. And then Naruto's like, crap. He's able to barely avoid it, but the claws just scratch him. Damn it. Pulls out a trench knife as he's blocking Naruto's Kiba's claws. Whacks Akamaru on my head. Sorry, Akamaru. It's like, got you, Akamaru. And then Akamaru, eats the soldier pills. Like, what? And then turns into the red furred monster and then transforms into Double Kiba. And Naruto's like, oh, this isn't good. And Naruto's like, I don't want to kill these guys or anything like that, but I don't want to hurt them too bad, but they're putting me in a pretty tight spot here. So fang over fang. And he's like, Naruto's like, crap. And Naruto basically, as a defensive posture, makes the blades out with his chakra, and like holds them out. And immediately, like, they're grinding, because while grinding, it's not easy to basically break that. So just they're actually grinding against the blades, and it does hurt them to some degree because it is like sharpened wind chakra. And Naruto's able to, but it's almost like, what's the best way to put it? You ever see like a rotating fan blade? I mean like a, not like a flop, but like, and you like hit it, and it's like, kind of bounce off it a little bit. It does stop it technically, but for a little bit, but unless you're able to actually get in there, just stop the fan from moving. That's kind of what this is, where it's like he grinds against it, and it does cause some problems to the rotation, but Naruto's kind of more like bouncing off and just, he's using basically in defensive posture, like, just, and it also is like, with Kiba's aggression, and that rotate, that fang over fang is blocking any real major damage. Kiba and Akamaru, get back on on all fours, kind of recoup, and they're a little scuffed up. Like, they've got their coats are damaged. They've even got some like friction burns on them. So if that actually hits out of rotation, that might actually hit serious damage. Fortunately, the rotation's like can keep up with fang over fang, wind style, blades of wind or wind blades. And they think, because I imagine Naruto would have showed off a little, because it's Naruto, a little like him doing it with just the trench knife. It's like, well, your trench that technique is barely going to do anything. All of a sudden, he sees Naruto going, like Naruto's just, and all of a sudden the blades just come in, and they're just now slamming, basically doing the exact same effect the blades in his hands were doing, but without Naruto having to be attached to him. So now it's just banging around the the fang over fang, and now they're completely thrown off. Now they kind of actually have to regain composure a little bit, and Naruto's just finally like, got you! Boom! He basically double times it with the trench knives, boom, and then flips it, wind style, raging earth, and Ozma and Naruto is like, a new technique, and again launches out this massive amount of just earth and rock and rubble and tiles, and just boom, Akamaru just and he gets knocked out. It's like, Akamaru, oh boy, I hope I didn't hurt him too. And Naruto's like, I hope I didn't hurt him too bad. Naruto, well, okay, just to be fair, just like, he gets a gut check, and he gets one straight to that. And Naruto quickly gets over and is like, you guys okay? It's not over. And then Naruto's like, and he holds the blade and is like, it's over now. Please give up. Damn it. I'm okay. All right. I surrender. Like, the winner's Naruto Uzumaki. It's like, you okay? It's like, sorry about that. I didn't think that'd go so hard, but you guys are really going at me there. Yeah, whatever. Next time will be different. And they get him out of there. So now, I mean, we're at the 22-minute mark. We can probably talk about the Hinata fight, because that's really the only other fight that we'd have to deal with this at the moment. So as I said, Hinata is definitely a bit more. She's a little strong. She's certainly stronger. I wouldn't say by a huge margin. If Hinata, let's say, starts at a 5 out of 20, 20's her maximum. She's at a 5 at this point in the series. She's like at a 7 now. Like she's a degree stronger. Certainly, she's more confident. She's not as easy to rile. All of that. Naruto certainly being around throughout a lot of her life has certainly helped her out a bit. But she is still Hinata. Like, straight out, I don't think she actually wins this fight. But the thing is that when this fight happens, like you are the pampered offspring of the first main branch. Whereas in the original Hinata, she's like, it's more like she's very uncomfortable still, but she's trembling too, just like, no, and she's actually saying, you're wrong. It's like, and then Naruto is like, Hinata, shut Neji up for what? Show Neji what you can do. Shut up on what's wrong. And Naruto knows about Neji, I'm sure, because he's spent enough time with the now to learn about him. And Hinata's like, right. Prepare yourself, brother. Prepare yourself, Neji. It's like, very well then. And they go at it. Now, in the original, she couldn't get a single hit on him. Here, while he definitely, lands the shot, I think Hinata is actually, taking a little bit from Naruto's book. Just when he hits that shot, just, she actually doesn't hit him purposely because she was waiting for him to actually get close enough. And she grabs is that it? That all the main family has? Like, no, I was just waiting for an opportunity. What? And she grabs what? And boom! Just slams him right there. Just boom! And she's like, that was under you. And she actually dodges, just hits him again, just boom right there with just all the pent up rage and abuse she's taken from him. Boom! And he's How unHuga-like of you to resort to something so underhanded. I may be a Huga, but I am also Hinata. And that sentence may not make a lot of sense to some, but that's saying, yeah, I may be of the Hyuga bloodline, but I am me, and I'm going to do it my way. If I have to, and I'm a ninja. If I have to win in a slightly underhanded manner, so be it. But I'll take the advantage I can get. Don't worry, I'm not going to hit you in the balls or anything like that. But still, and say, I saw an opening and I took it. You let your guard down. Who's the? Now, don't get me wrong. She isn't, because he's still better at this than she is. So she's still coughing up some blood. Just, she's like, a big talk's coming for someone who claimed to be a prodigy. Like you did, yeah. The only way I could have gotten the hit, and she actually smiles a little bit, kind of channeling a little bit of a Naruto. It's like, as if you let your guard down, Neji. It's like, and Naruto's like, and then comes in, and at that point now, it's like, he's not going to let her get another hit like that in. Although now he is weakened, so she's able to get a couple more strikes in. Ultimately, though, it doesn't matter. He puts her down. And fortunately, this Jonin come in before Naruto comes in and rips his head off. And basically say, what's that? And say, what's this, huh? The main fan, like, a special treatment, huh? It's like, no, you idiot, you're about to kill her. Get out! Get your ass out of your head, or get your head out of your ass. But it's like, which Kakashi even puts is like, well, it's not that. You were going to kill her, and we had to stop it. Plus, we didn't need two bodies. We didn't have to want to clean up two bodies in the ring, and that's where they see, surprisingly, it's Sasuke who had to really get out of the ring and hold Naruto back as he's just. He's got his blades, and it's like normally like Naruto's like his knives are like that long, and normally go about like 6 inches more for like a almost 2 foot length. If he's angry, he's like that. They're like literally like Kadachis in his hands. It's like he's like trying to stretch it out. Loves like, Naruto, calm down. They got him. She'll be okay. And it's like, you better pray to God. It's like, and Hinata calls him, Hinata, and it's okay, I got you. It's like, Naruto, do you think I could change this a little? And she's passing out. I was like, I want to tell you something. And she, and she's about to basically tell you, like, I really like you. I like you. It's like, she doesn't get to say that, but it's like, and even though there's no romantic stuff there yet, this is still a close friend of his. Even in the canon, when they didn't know each other all that well, he still wanted to fight Neji to avenge Hinata. So when you have it now that they have a good relationship, they got a good friendship, it possibly could go, and she loves him basically, and he cares a lot about her. Ooh, Neji, you do not want to be on the receiving end of this man's wrath. It's like, I will. It's like, for Hinata, I will beat you. It's like, you dream on. And he coughs up. And to be fair, he's like, Naruto gets a smile knowing that, Hinata got some good licks in. He's like, Neji's not walking away from this. He's like, you need to go to the medical bay too. And so ultimately, this episode ends with all the other fights going off. The Rock Lee fight, Choji versus Dosu. The match is getting called, with the exception of it would probably be Sakura versus Dosu. I mean, that's the one catch here, is the fact that Sakura is there. The fact that Sakura is there does change things up a little bit. But I will say that just to make it simple for this particular one, sometimes I just keep it simple. Sometimes I will change it up just because there is another person there. I will have Sakura fight Dosu. So there you go. Anyway, that's where we're going to leave part 7. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know we'll do a review at some point. Hit that bell if you want to be notified. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you folks next time. Later.